Okay, now are we good for two? There are 4 journals that I wrote on 9/11/2009, and I thought I'd just put them all 4 up so you could see um, as a contrast for what they have to offer, but also as contrast with how the journals are now. Now, this one is very free-flowing. I mean, this is back when I was learning to simply follow heart and not argue and not try to make sense of it or whatever. And I never did anything else with this journal. Now, the written ones are going to be posted on Scribed for you. So if you want to go back and look at them, that's always available there if I don't speak clearly enough or if something isn't quite clear. So this is, let's see. I didn't even time or time this one or write the Mayan day or anything. So it's arbitrary that I've called it the second one. And it's just going to flow from this to that. It's got some quotes in it. It starts out from Greg Braden's The Spontaneous Healing of Belief, Shattering the Paradigm of False Beliefs. He gives us some belief codes. And belief code number 1 is, quote, experiments show that the focus of our attention changes reality itself and suggests that we live in an interactive universe. Close quote. I thought that was worthy of being written down. A little note, perspective. All is this. All is perspective. This I knew from childhood. Now I wrote down pleasure of pain, or bliss versus pleasure. I've got some of these ideas. They might have been ideas for another journal or what, I don't know. Okay, destroying self-image, or you are a galaxy. Why should one desire to destroy the self-image, you say? Why do that? Because it gets in the way, perhaps more so than any other factor for one walking the spiritual path homeward. And I wrote down the fractal view of cosmos. And I wrote down, it's the little stuff. And here's another heading that has some text to go with it. Let's stop hassling ourselves. Just go with the flow of it. Don't think about it. Don't think it to death. It lowers the vibration tremendously. Besides being a dead end anyway, for mind is not and never will be the way to spirit. Now, put yourself in heart and adjust yourself. I have a quote here from Sri Nisargadatta from his book, I Am That, page 292. The little talk was called In the Supreme, the Witness Appears. And so it's a back and forth between the questioner and Nisargadatta. Questioner: what is this big talk about elimination of self? How can the self eliminate itself? Majaraj, which I'm calling Nisargadatta. It's a title of respect. He says, you need not chase the I am to kill it. You cannot. All you need is a sincere longing for reality. Without love and will inspired by love, nothing can be done. Merely talking about reality without doing anything about it is self-defeating. There must be love in the relation between the person who says, I am, and the observer of that I am. As long as the observer, the inner self, excuse me, the higher self, considers himself apart from the observed, the lower self, despises it and condemns it, the situation is hopeless. It is only when the observer, vyakta, accepts the person, vyakti, as a projection or manifestation of himself, and, so to say, takes the little s self into the capital S self, the duality of I and this goes. And in the identity of the outer and the inner, the supreme reality manifests itself. The union of the seer and the seen happens when the seer becomes conscious of himself as the seer. He is not merely interested in the seen, which he is anyhow, but also interested in being interested, giving attention to attention, aware of being aware. Affectionate awareness is the crucial factor that brings reality into focus. Close quote. Yes, the link over to the scribed transcript is always at the top in the description section. All right, back to my words. I say, it is what it is. Why fight it? Okay, another big heading with no text. I contain the body. The body doesn't contain me. Here's a good one with some text. There are no innocent victims. Be in heart. Our life is no one else's fault. We are the playwright, casting director, and director of our own life drama. Yes, we've been lied to and misled from birth, but the fact still remains that we create our own life experience. Dive into the center of that. Would we willingly write in painful experiences into the script? Prior to the lifetime, yes. Besides, underneath it all, we all realize that our greatest growth is generally an outgrowth of pain. Let it sink in. Everything in life is a reflection, even our pets. Look past the joke to see the reality peeking out. Caesar and his dogs. The Dog Whisperer I used to watch. The issue is always with the owner. It's never with the dog. If you haven't seen it, it's a good series on dog training. Life is like a 10,000-piece puzzle. And for those of you that don't puzzle, that's a puzzle with very small pieces. We can see how small sections fit together, but it takes time and progress before we see where they fit in to the overall picture. There is no evil, only ignorance. Now in 3D there is evil. I'm not talking to you in 3D. That's not the only place you exist. There is no evil, only ignorance. Witness Jesus saying, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do, as he hung on the cross. Great example. And then I wrote down heart-centering tricks. Well, I have any number of journals where I share those with you. Okay, here's a bigger section. It's called emotions, which I take to be, by the way, E for energy in motion. We're taught to stuff things, to look the other way, to control our emotions. Bad idea. Totally upside down view of what you will get here. Once one no longer identifies, or identifies quite so strongly anyway, with the mental mind, one becomes more alert to the feelings, the emotions, the interior sensings. Again, being heart-centered helps tremendously. It acts as a steady anchor. Since exploring the emotions can get interesting, an anchor can come in handy. And so can grounding into the earth. So, what's so special about the emotions? Indeed, since we've been practically programmed to either ignore them or stuff them since childhood, that's a fair question. Haven't you found, however, that so often whatever society tells you is bad, you later find out was actually good? Yeah, something downright sinister lurking there. Anyway, while the mental mind connects to the soul through the body, the spirit connects through the emotions. Now, I'll say that again, maybe a new idea for some. While the mental mind connects to the soul through the body, I believe the connection is at the throat chakra, I'm not quite certain. The spirit is connected through the emotions, and that would be the solar plexus chakra. It is the only way in. Do not pass go, nor collect 200 for those old enough to remember Monopoly. Furthermore, the emotions are tremendously wise. Yeah, I know, that sounds ludicrous at first, maybe, but I found it to be so. Subtle, remember? One thing is certain, the emotions will signal you when something is wrong. That is where to start, just that. Observe the emotions, begin to note the unsettled feelings, the little things generally stuffed or ignored habitually. Just begin to watch. Don't try to not stuff them. Don't try to control yourself in any way. Just observe. It is amazing, once you set out on this path, what will unfold before you. Your very own inner guru or teacher. And guru, friends, is just another word for teacher. It's just an Asian word. No, I'm not saying the emotions are the guru, just that they lead in that general direction to source, or the G word, God, is ever the guru. While it may use other things, other people at different times to guide you, the real teacher is always the inner self. And I capitalize those words. So, let us learn to take a break. When we're paying attention to the emotions and notice something beginning to bother, take a break. Go get a glass of water. Take a walk. Go get the mail. Give it time to come in all the way, time to make itself clear for you, for there is a message there. That's what this is. Every little discontent or disturbance carries one. That's how your inner self communes with you. It's talking. This is a wise and useful function of the emotions, so pay attention and give it time. Tune in. Quite naturally, everything won't always come in loud and clear at first. Go chop some wood. Carry water. Do some work. It really works. This balance between the outer and the inner. Enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. And enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. You know, the inner, the outer. You're braiding, you're weaving that spiral into light. Both help. By chopping wood and carrying water, you're anchoring into the earth. You're grounding. Intuition will come, will flow better once we pay attention to our emotions. Stuffing emotions equals stuffing intuition. Blame means forgiveness is called for, of self or others. If the thought comes into your mind, it is coming in to be looked at. If you are over whatever the subject matter is, the thought will not arise. It arises because it is not yet healed, the lesson not yet learned. Okay, I have a short section on past, present, future. Past equals forgive. Present equals release. Future equals affirmation. I am. Trust. Surrender all expectations. They interfere with your manifestation. That's mind trying to get out ahead and guide the course. Expectation, that's what that is. The awesome power of the spoken word. Spoken also means heard. Multiple senses. The present is the most important, of course. Thus, release, release, release is the biggest key. Now, I've got a section called This, That, and the Author, or Watch and Listen. And it says it's on observing. This, That, and the Author was the original way I blogged my journals. I put the written ones up there. So that was what on blogspot.com or whatever it's called. My little thing is called This, That, and the Author. So I've written here, when you owe and are late on a debt, and you receive a call, how very nice it is when it is not nasty. When you are offered the simple ability to pay it. No penalties, no extra charges for anything. How about we offer the same to others in our life? Everyone's path is divine. Respect that. Allow them their difficulties. You hearing that? Don't try to fix everybody's difficulties all around you. That's not your job. All right, another heading with nothing else. Let's take a break or heed the emotions. And the final little section is called Words Are Nothing, ... or everything. When you hear the phrase, work is love made visible. Work is love made visible. What does it arouse in you? Has it deep meaning or only superficial? The words are nothing by themselves in this context. If you don't have the experiential understanding, the deeper meaning to draw upon, they are little more than sounds. If, however, one has the experience, then the words are valid. And that's the end of that rather disjointed journal. Good day, my friends. Number 3 and 4 still upcoming.